And welcome to the weekly vision video update for the Christian Life Center. My name's Josh, and I get the great privilege of talking to you about the whys behind the whats. And here's what I mean by that. There's always lots of stuff going on at the Christian Life Center. This week, there's some fun stuff that I'm going to tell you about. But what we don't want to get lost in all the things happening is why we actually do the things that we do. In other words, we don't want you just to hear about what's going on. We want you to know why it's going on and how you can participate in it. So this weekend is the CLC Merry Little Christmas Party, right? I'll tell you some more about the times and what's going on and how you can participate, but it makes sense before I tell you the how. I want to tell you why we're doing it, particularly in light of a complicated world we're in right now, right? And you're watching the COVID numbers. I'm watching the COVID numbers. We're trying to keep up with how to be appropriate and safe and worship Jesus as well as we can, and also follow guidelines that keep as many people safe as possible. So we're keeping up with them for how we do in-person services on the weekend and how we do big events like the CLC Merry Little Christmas Party. So it's a fair question of going, isn't it not safe or appropriate for you guys to be hosting an event with kind of the chaos of the world? And so I want to tell you why we feel comfortable and think we should be hosting this weekend. And it starts with the reason that CLC exists. CLC, Christian Life Center. What we tell you over and over again, and many of you know this, you are co-laborers, co-missionaries in this movement, that we exist to make it simple for people, that's you and I and all of our neighbors, co-workers, classmates, colleagues, family, in-laws, whatever it is, right? Family and in-laws, those are kind of the same. You should classify them as the same. Like, we exist to make it simple for people to connect to Jesus and to one another, right? Here's what we mean by that. We can't fix you. I can't fix you. We can't fix our neighbors. I can't really even fix myself, right? And so if you're having a hard time getting your life in order, making everything work out the way that you intend for it to, then you're in really good company, because as a church, we're just really aware of how broken we are. And if we can't fix ourselves, then obviously we can't fix other people. But that doesn't mean there's not hope and joy and peace and fulfillment in life and some, process by which we become more and more about the person that we have always dreamt about being, right? And so what the Bible tells us, John tells us this, and that's Jesus's cousin, buddy, who kind of was a forerunner to declare that Jesus was coming. He shows up and he quotes a guy from 700 years earlier, Isaiah, and he says, "Prepare the way of the Lord," meaning there is a fixer, there is a savior, there is hope in a way by which we can find some solutions in our life. And he says, "Prepare the way of the Lord, make straight paths for him, remove every mountaintop, fill in every valley, make every crooked path straight." And he tells us why. He says, so that all mankind can see, all flesh can see, all humans can see God's salvation. In other words, there is a savior, there is hope, and it's found in Jesus. And our job, yours and mine, if you're a follower of Jesus, our job is to remove the obstacles, to make it simple for people to see and connect to Jesus. And the Bible also tells us in the very beginning books in Genesis, God created all creation, and we get an idea of why, because he wants to be with us forever, really, and partner with us forever. And he makes the first man, and then he looks and says, it's not good for man to be alone. So we understand the scriptures that, wow, God wants us to see and know him and experience him and live a fulfilled life. There is something about connecting one to another that also really, really matters. So our mission is to make it simple for people to connect to Jesus. That's you and I, to connect to Jesus and to one another. It is a vertical and horizontal approach. We got relationships we got to get figured out, both vertically with the God of the universe and horizontally with our neighbors, friends, co-workers, and all those things. So guess what? Saturday night presents a really great opportunity for us to make it simple, to remove the obstacles so that people can connect to Jesus and one another. So that's the reason we're doing the event. But wait. Isn't it still not safe to meet in 2020 in the middle of a pandemic? So when we say that our mission is to make it simple for people to connect to Jesus and one another, there's actually more to that mission statement. We're going to make it simple for people to connect to Jesus and one another by being a good steward, being a good manager, being a good steward of all that God has entrusted to us, right? So we want to be a good steward, meaning whatever God's given us, he's given it to us so that we can use it to prepare the way of the Lord, make straight paths for him, move every mountaintop, fill in every valley, make every crooked path straight again, so that all people, you and I, our neighbors, coworkers, family, and friends, could all see and know God's salvation. So we want to make it simple for people to connect to Jesus and one another by being good stewards of all that God has entrusted us with. And one of the things that God has entrusted to us is 501c3 nonprofit status. Now, one of the things that's really beneficial about being a nonprofit is the things that we use on our in our facilities for the mission and purpose of the nonprofit. We don't actually pay property taxes on that. So what you hear me talk about, occasionally, probably should talk about it more, is that there are thousands and thousands of dollars each year of lost revenue because a church exists on our property rather than a neighborhood development or another commercial building, right? Thousands of dollars of lost revenue. And so this would make sense that our church, the Christian Life Center, should be more valuable to our community. That's the New London Township. That's Southern Chester County. That's Pennsylvania. That's the tri-state area. Our church should be more valuable to our community than the lost revenue of for not paying as much property taxes as a neighborhood would pay. So a couple different things. We want to be a good steward of all that God's entrusted us. And one of the things he's entrusted us with is a great facility and a great piece of property. And we want to make sure that stewardship that we uncover and add value to our community that's at least worth more than the thousands and thousands of dollars of lost revenue. And the neat thing about God entrusting this space to us at such a time as right now is we have a giant facility, more than 40,000 square feet, which allows us to host some things indoors like Sunday morning worship, very socially distanced. And but he also has given us 66 acres that's right here at this on this church campus at the Christian Life Center. We have another 11 at New London Presbyterian Church just down 896, and I can't wait to tell you more about how we can use that over the next several weeks and months. Really, really excited to continue to think about stewardship over there as well. But right now, let's talk about this space. Let's talk about these acres, 66 acres, and guess what that means? That means a few people can gather in our property, in our parking lot. Big parking lot, right? Gather in a way that is completely socially distant. Gather with a mask on, more than 6, more than 10, a couple meters apart, and participate in seeing people, waving at people, hearing from people, and yet do all the stuff that's appropriate to follow the guidelines that have been set before us in terms of how we deal with and respond to a pandemic. So God's given us 66 acres, so it gives us an opportunity to participate in our own church property. Now, beyond just giving us these 66 acres, 65 acres, and a great facility, which we're going to be outside. The bathrooms will be open, though, inside the facility if you got to use the restroom this weekend. But beyond that, God's also entrusted us with incredible volunteers, an incredible staff, great leaders, great elders, and a lot of really, really great resources, from a indoor coffee shop to a mobile coffee shop to a big 35-foot showmobile trailer that you can pull down the road and convert it into a concert stage for events, and a 25-foot LED HD video screen, right? And in the past, the last 3 years, in fact, this will be the first year that we have not done that since I've been on staff here at the Christian Life Center. In the past, the first Friday of every December, we've taken our mobile mug, we've taken our concert stage. We're planning on taking the LED video screen this year. We've taken it down into downtown Oxford. We've opened it up, and we have sang a bunch of songs about Jesus and to Jesus over our community, alongside our community. And for us as a staff, for many of us, one of the highlights of our year is pausing right before they light the Christmas tree in downtown Oxford and singing Silent Night with our community, declaring the good news that a Savior was born. Now, this year we can't do that. They've actually canceled the first Fridays. And so as we talked about it and considered it, some of that makes sense. You got small roads, you got crowded places. It made sense because we still have all the resources, the stages, the trailers, the coffee shop, the hot chocolate, all those things, giving away thousands of, cups of hot chocolate, all those things. We still have the resources, and we haven't had the space. And so as we wrestled through it over the last couple months, particularly the last 6 weeks, it seemed evident to us that one of the great ways we could be a good steward of all that God's entrusted us is actually to use our space, use our equipment, use our incredibly talented volunteers, great musicians, to actually bring some cheer into our community in the middle of a time when there's not much cheer. And I'm not just talking about like in the elf sense, you got to have the cheer so the sleigh can run. I'm talking about 2,000 years ago, some angels showed up to some outcasts like you and I and declared that there was good news of great joy for all people. And then he declared that there would be peace on earth and goodwill towards men. So what would it look like for us this year to still declare that good news of great joy to all the people? What would it look like to create some space and a time to celebrate peace, shalom, real rightness with God, peace on earth, and show goodwill towards men? Well, it made sense to us that we have the space to do it, the resources to do it, and an opportune time to do it. And so that is why we've decided to host this event this Christmas season. So we're going to usher in the Christmas season, continue inviting people to our church, continuing to declare the good news of God being with us. And we're going to create this event where we can make it simple for people to connect to God, connect to Jesus, and simple for them to actually connect to one another. Because believe it or not, you know this, I believe it or not, there's a lot of pain, a lot of sorrow, and people are really lonely. So we're going to create an event that brings hope and joy into our community while declaring the goodness of who God is and allowing people to connect while being safe in a way that could bring good news to them and peace on earth. And so this Saturday night at 5:30 begins the Merry Little Christmas Party. But I want you to stay into this. You got the why. I need to tell you the how. And I also need you to know some circumstances could change as a result of weather. We are curious to whether or not the weather is going to hold off on Saturday night, and we already have a rain date planned for Sunday. Same plan, same group. So we've kind of carved out our weekend in preparation that one of these days it could rain. So right now the goal is Saturday night, but if we have to postpone, we'll let you know by 5 o'clock on Friday afternoon. We'll let you know. That will be, that will be December 4th. So Friday, December 4th, we'll let you know, and I will show you where you can go to get all that information. Now, if we adjust it to Sunday, everything moves up an hour. So instead of starting at 5:30, it's going to start at 4:30. The reason being is Sunday's a school night. Your kiddos got to get to school. You got to get to work. So we would just adjust those things by an hour. But all the information you need to know about where you can park, how to invite your friends, all those things, all of it's going to be found right on our website. So if you would participate, I'm going to show you how you can get all that information right now. So thanks for staying with me. Let me pull this down. There we go. Let's see. I'll say that there. And now let me go to the website. So what you'll see, this is our website. See it right here, CLC. Let me see. CLCfamily.church. And if you notice, there's lots of fun stuff there. If you've not been to the website, you should go. You can learn all about our team, all the bios of all of our staff, and all of our elders, by the way. You can hear all about them. You can see how to contact any of them. Now, I would actually recommend that maybe once a week you just log in there and pray for our team, pray for our elders. It's been a hard year to be an elder. Pray for our staff. It's been a difficult year to imagine how to do church in the middle of a pandemic, right? And so would you consider doing that so you can learn all about our team? You can get all of our media. We got podcasts. We have audio sermons, video sermons, vision updates, all of that right there. And if you want to be a part of a group, sign up to volunteer, request to use our space, use the facilities, resource, all that kind of stuff. Right there, sign up. We got the calendar to tell you what's going on. Every time we have a service live, you can go here and watch it and participate with an online host and your peers. The news every single week that we update the newsletter here, so you can always get the weekly newsletter that comes out on Fridays right here at this news spot. Or on that page also is when where our quarterly publication, which a brand new one's going to be coming out real soon. So get all sorts of information. I wrote a 3,000 word letter the last time. I'm sorry. I tend to use a lot of words. This time I didn't use as many words. It's only 2,000 words. If you're curious if we've got any jobs at our church now, we do have a couple. You can click and get there right here on the website. We got a custodial position and a preschool assistant position. You can see it there. For those of you who give and give digitally, thank you. You know where this is. Really, really appreciative of that. For those of you ready to start, be a really, really good place for you to jump in. You can set up automated give and you can give once. You can participate that way, and then you can hear all about all the different Sunday service options, whether in person, online, out and outside in the drive-in service. And this is the place, this website's where I'll continue to update you on all those things. If you look right there in the up right hand corner, you can see the preschool logo. We still kind of have an open enrollment. Know any preschoolers that are interested in being in person right now. Randy, Lucas, and Jeanette and the team have done a fabulous job of keeping this place safe and open in the middle of this chaos. And then you'll see the big yellow mug logo. That's a place you can do mobile orders. I don't know if you know this. You can actually do a mobile order, and someone will drop it off on your car side right outside of our church between 8 and noon, Monday through Friday. Or even on Sunday, you want to grab a latte, a hot chocolate, you can actually go there, tell what time you want to pick it up, and it will be ready for you. But what I want to show you right now in the middle of the website, you see this? There is the Christmas at the CLC, and right there you can click on that. By the way, you see what's front and everything? That's all the information about CLC Kids, all the different small groups, all those things. But you can click on Christmas at CLC, and this is the page that you get to see. See this? CLC's Merry Little Christmas Party. Now, after this weekend, this will be the page where we'll be promoting all this Christmas Eve services. But you see right here, Saturday, December 5th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. And right underneath that, you can see it, the rain date, Sunday, December 6th from 4:30 to 7. So everything just moves back 1 hour. We'll update this on the 4th by 5 p.m. So you can stay tuned there. Download our app. You want to download our app, you just text the word app, APP, to 610-869-2140. We'll send you a push notification if that would be an easier way for you to get the information that you need to know about the event. And this is open to our community. One of the great things about having lots of space is a lot of people can come. And so you can go learn all about the socially distanced options. There will be live music. So much fun. The band's been put together some incredible songs. You know they're talented. And so it'll be live Christmas concert. Everybody loves a live Christmas concert. So invite your friends. Bring them on over, right? And you'll see there's lots of kids' activities. I'll show you how you can get access to those activities in just a second. And you see this right here. There'll be a carol, sing-along, and a Christmas movie. We'll be showing just a quick Christmas movie, the Charlie Brown Christmas, where they read the Gospel of Luke. Oh, so beautiful. You and your family can join in on that. And you see this. There are going to be food trucks. I'm not going to tell you all about it. I don't know how many will be able to show up depending on what day it is, but I will tell you for sure, I know about these guys. This is the Sugar Shack. You can go to sugarshackeats.com and see their menu. But you see this? They got some nice little food here. So head there, figure out what kind of burger you might want, or some kind of cheesesteak. You might want a hamwich. It's kosher. There you go. So the Sugar Shack right there is one of the food truck options. And you see this because it's 2020 and I'm sad by it, but there's selfie stations. So take some pictures with your family. There'll be lots of different selfie stations, some fun different props. That'll be fun for you. I told you about the Christmas movie. There'll be some places that you and your family can play some games again, socially distanced. They will be free cocoa and hot chocolate and free s'mores. And then also what I want to tell you about is it's a complicated season, and our church is called to be a good steward of all that God's entrusted us with. And God has entrusted a lot of us in our church family with more than we need, right? With an abundance. And so God tells us in the scriptures, multiple places, that he's been generous to us so that we can be generous to other people. When God establishes his covenant with a family and a nation, not to us, to Abram, who becomes Abraham, he says, I'm going to bless you so that you can be a blessing. We have a duty and responsibility, and boy, will you hear more and more about this over the next several weeks and months. We have a responsibility in the middle of this chaos to be light in the middle of darkness and be God's church. And one of the ways we want to start this Christmas season is by having a food drive. And you're going, okay, what is going to be going on with the food drive? Great question, and you'll be able to see here where you can click on it. But let me start with the food drive right here. I already have it pulled up, and here's what it is. We are going to be providing food for the Luther house, and we want to serve them in a difficult season. And so what we'd ask you to do is not bring anything in glass. You can go to the website and get more information here, but you can just real quickly see kind of a list of items that we are collecting. No glass. Again, if you have any questions, you can email christian@clcfamily.church. But if you're going to attend, would you please bring some food items with you? Let's bless our community. God's been gracious to us. Let's be gracious and generous to other people. And then you can also see right here, you can click right here to get the activities available for families and kids during the event. Again, socially distanced. But the last thing I want to point out before we kind of wrap this up is you should bring your phones so you can enjoy the activities, take the pictures. Please wear your masks so we can be appropriate, be safe, care for our neighbors. And I want you to see right here kind of what the layout looks like. so that you will be ready to go. So if you go to the itinerary, you'll see all the stuff going on about the Merry Little Christmas Party. You'll see everything about the upcoming services, both Sunday mornings and over Christmas Eve. And then you will have this map. We'll have some available for you if you need it during the event, or you can print this one, have it on your phone as well. And so you'll see all the details you need to go by going to clcfamily.church/Christmas, or just click on the Christmas link. But let me highlight it real quick. Most of the festivities are going to be right here in this area, kind of in the picture bottom left. There will also be a spot for those of you who go, I want to be around people. Like, I want to see them because I love seeing and interacting with people, and I want to see the music. I want to hear the music and watch the movie, but I do not feel safe being out in public with other people. Then we want you to know we have designated a really good spot with good viewing angle for you to be able to participate. You can pull in, park your car, tune to 104.1, and you'll be able to hear all the music, watch the movie, and be able to participate by being very, very safe and protected in your car. So there will be a designated drive-in area, and all this stuff will have signage on it. There'll be parking that will be around the side and to the back of our church. But I want you to go to clcfamily.church, click on the Christmas event link so that you can participate well. So that's the information. Again, let me remind you that if you want to get any of this information, you can just go to clcfamily.church, click on the Christmas link, and it will give you all the information you need to know, right? So it's all there. If you want to participate in the food draft, please do. You can see the items of food we're collecting, or if you have some questions, email Christian@clcfamily.church. But again, let me remind you of something. The reason we're doing this event is because God has been very gracious to us, right? And we want to be a good steward of all that God's entrusted to us. But the objective here is to make it simple for people to actually connect to Jesus and to one another. And I am convinced, and our church is in it for the long game, that people always return to the last place they felt loved in the middle of a crisis. You can see this in the story of the parable of the prodigal son, where he walks away from everything but knows his dad loves him, goes and just has a reckless life in the middle of crisis and chaos. What does he do? He returns to the last place he felt loved. So our church is in this for the long game. We want to be a place that loves our community well. So in their moment of crisis or need, they can know they can return to us. They can come here. They can be loved by us, welcomed by us, and we can participate in making it simple for them to connect to Jesus and to one another. So we can give them hope with Jesus and community around them. And so December, whatever the date ends up being, December 5th or December 6th, this is a great opportunity for you to invite your neighbor, us love them well, and and begin to create some inroads to help them know that there's a God who loves them, has a plan for them, and is far beyond what they could ever hope or imagine. So yes, we want you to come and enjoy the community of your church family, but we also want you to invite your friends. Send them to the website, point them to the night, and invite them to come. Many people right now are looking for something for their kids to do and some kind of event to bring joy and cheer. This is the event. I think you should come. Thanks for listening to all this. Remember, stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll update you on any kind of postponement to the next day, and as it relates to weather. So tomorrow, 5 p.m., we'll let you know that you did good. You stayed, and proud of you for those of you who are continuing to listen. Love you guys. Let's make it simple for people to connect to Jesus and one another this weekend, and then let's see what God does in our church and your lives and your families over the next several weeks in this Christmas season. God's up to something, and excited that you're going to join in with it all. Love you guys. If you need me, text me, call me, 610-869-2140. You can email me at josh@clcfamily.church. We love you.